Hello and welcome to the Game Dev Local Podcast. I'm your host, Carina, and today I'm going to be talking to Alex about favorite games, background, about leadership and inspiring others, and very interestingly, the changing world of social media.
Quiet.
So, to start with, Alex, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Alex, I have been in the video games industry for 10 years now, so it's been a decade. I started off in Ubisoft for just over 5.5 years, somewhere thereabouts, based in Newcastle, where I started off working on the German social media world of Facebook back in the day, launching something called Anno and Rainbow Six Siege and The Division 1 and things like that. Assassin's Creed and
Nice.
all the lovely thing for the German world. And then progressed at Ubisoft, and at the end of it, ended up running the entire team, actually 2 departments. On the one hand, we had the community team, which was roughly 40 people, 35, something like that in the ballpark, through which we launched and operated all of Ubisoft games. So if I divvy it all up, it's something like 35 game launches that I've done with my team back then.
Nice.
And the second department was the community analytics department or sentiment department, depending of the naming conventions in a big company have political connotations sometimes, but I refer to it as the community analytics department back then. And we did social listening and sentiment analysis and working on, I call it quantifying emotions and emotions on social media and how we can use data like that to help us make decisions.
Yeah.
I then moved into a startup in Edinburgh, Scotland, where I still am today. Luckily, it's sunny.
Yes. Nice.
And there I was the first person that showed up talking about something called The Player and something that potentially eventually will be playing this game. And they were in prototyping mode and into very, secluded mode, development mode, head down kind of stage. And then I come along, it's like, hey, we need to think about the player. And we need to think about how we bring this to market and how we do all of these very complicated topics that don't exist and nobody ever thought about. And that was kind of my experience. And that startup went through a runway extension exercise, which is a nice way of putting redundancies. And following that, I had a little bit of a moment of like, okay, what's next? What do I do? And decided to found my own consultancy. I'm almost at my 1 year anniversary. I'm 2 months away from it.
Exciting.
So,
time goes so fast.
Exactly. So all things community, player experience, go to market, like player facing topics going to market, positioning, things like that is what I consult on today. And yeah, I mean, I'm nearly a year in and I'm still here. So it's been a journey. It's been exciting.
Still enjoying
very
it?
cool. Owning your own company and going self-employed and kind of realizing that my relationship to work has changed quite significantly.
Yes.
Because it used to be, especially in like fairly big corporate world, it's like everything you do, you need to find the reason of who you do it for in a little way, which kind of leads nicely into the first topic, actually. But now being self-employed, it's like everything I do is in the name or in the benefit of the client and subsequently myself. And that has changed my relationship to work actually quite significantly. So, but yes, it's been a journey, but a good one.
Yeah, I found that with myself as well. I've entered into the freelance sort of working for myself space, and definitely a lot of your views and emotions and relationships with what you've done prior to that changes quite significantly. And I was at a place myself where I thought I didn't enjoy what I do anymore. I found out that I know I do actually really enjoy what I do, but I just needed to shift the mindset and being sort of at the forefront of what I enjoy doing. And indie games especially is the thing now for me, because there's so many good people in this space and people that need help, like for yourself as well. I'm sure you understand there's loads of people that need consultancy, just understanding what to do next, what is important, what should we focus on, what should we not focus on, because a lot of the time people tend to focus on the wrong thing. So yeah, that's inspiring for others as well listening, I think. So yeah, now I wanted to also ask you about some of the games that you enjoy playing, some of the things that you really love. Is it a specific genre? Are you also sort of indie game lover, or do you like the big AAAs? What kind of games do you
Well, indie games
like?
always had a certain spot in my heart because
Yeah.
they tell stories in a different way. One of the
Yeah.
games that I played recently, because it was on Xbox Game Pass and I played on the Xbox, was Unpack.
Oh.
And it was a game that I didn't expect to, but I actually had tears running down my face when it came to a conclusion. It's only
Wow.
like 4 or 5 hour game, if that. And it's
Yeah.
adorable. And it's a brilliant way of telling a story without any words, any text, just through
Yeah.
gameplay, which is, I mean, you played yourself, I'm not going to spoil it, but effectively is you move from apartment to apartment and your box is increasing and the apartment size increases. So, and you unpack, you move into the apartment. And through the
Yeah.
items that you find unpacking and placing them is effectively that game tells a story, and it's brilliantly done. And yeah, the conclusion actually has me a little tear run down my face. So yes, it's like,
Oh.
and I remember having taking a break from the game, like putting the controller away, and it's like, oh my god, I did not expect this game to hit me so hard in the feels. That came out of nowhere. I wasn't prepared for that.
Oh,
So they
that's
definitely
lovely.
have a special place in my heart, and a lot of the people that I work with today and consult for are in the indie
Hmm.
space.
Yeah.
Um, then a game probably I have by far the most hours in and still play it regularly is Flight Sim. I'm a big aviation nerd and a
Nice. I
plane
didn't
fan.
know that.
So there is hours upon hours about flying virtual planes in my log and figuring stuff out. I fly online on a network called VATSIM, and VATSIM
Oh.
is effectively a group of people. That's so every other plane that you see is a different player flying their plane, and air traffic controlling, following real life procedures and standards. So you have to learn all of that and kind of figure it out and do it properly. And I really enjoy that. I find it oddly
Oh.
relaxing and enjoyable. So yeah, Flight Sim is
Oh, that's
probably
good.
my all-time, long-time favorite, and by far the most hours spent. And another game
Nice.
that really has a special place in my heart was Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's an MMO.
Oh, yeah.
So the reason that has a special place in my heart is, well, number one, they give you a lightsaber, and who doesn't like being given a lightsaber?
Right.
Well, assuming you play Jedi or Sith. But anyway, it was my first real full-on MMO experience. I've done first-person shooter, I've done community stuff, I've done kind of,
Mhm.
smaller scale multiplayer games or, competitive multiplayer games. But
Mhm.
the MMOs being MMOs is fairly different. And being set in the Star Wars universe, I ended up doing progression rating and all of that. And that was the first time I kind of
Mm.
understood that concept of,
Yeah.
you come online and hang out in a social space and wait for your group to come online. So you do a couple of PvP areas or some dailies or things like that. And then, you go
Mhm.
off and try to, over weeks and weeks and weeks, to do that one boss and get the mechanics right. And we call it don't stand in stupid when something comes up on the floor that kills you. So things like that.
Yeah.
That was the first time I really kind of understood and experienced that kind of social connection through a game that went
Mhm.
beyond the kind of competitive, you get together to shoot other people nature,
Yeah.
but the going beyond the just trying to beat the boss kind of thing. So that's why Star Wars: The Republic has a special place. And I remember I was at uni at the time, so I've done all my coursework, and it came just before Christmas, and I was a game I pre-ordered, so I had like I think 5 days of early access before the floodgates open. I was like, oh yes,
Ooh.
amazing. The queues were ridiculous, and then I got in early because I was European and America was asleep. And then I was like, oh, it's
Oh,
just because I
nice.
didn't know, like it was my first time out. Like I went away and had lunch, and I came back, and it's like you're in a queue. It's like, what do you mean there's a queue?
Yeah. That first experience of like, I'm waiting to get into my game.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
this about? Yeah. I think I experienced that for the first time when my friends got me World of Warcraft
Oh
for
yes,
Christmas. And
there
I
you
was
go.
like, because everyone else was talking about it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll join. But I'm one of those people who I will if I have it in front of me. But I have this like, can't quite go and get the game for myself. So they were like,
Yes.
right, we're gonna buy it for you. They bought it, I installed it, and I was hooked. But I just remember like for the following sort of expansions and in games in the series, and it was like everyone got the game. There was queues outside the shops to get the games. Like everyone showed up really early, got the game, ran home straight into the queues because everyone's trying to get
Exactly.
into it. And I was like, that my first experience as well. I was like, why do I have to wait? So interesting. I think also for the first game that you mentioned, Unpacking, I think it
I
was.
think it
Yeah.
was Unpacking, yeah.
Yeah. You might enjoy Urban Jungle.
I heard of that, yeah.
It has a similar story, sort of in ways of it can evoke emotion, because I felt quite emotional playing that. But it's unpacking and organizing a little bit of personal effects, but it's also arranging plants.
Oh, right, yes.
In your home, and your plants have certain requirements. For certain plants don't like each other.
Oh.
And certain plants need a sunny spot,
Yeah, I
certain
got you.
plants need the shade. And it's really wholesome to just do that, but also having that like story. It's a little bit more storytelling, and there's a lot more conversations and things happening. But I think you may enjoy that as
does
well.
sound enjoyable, yes.
Yeah, I flew through it, because you just it's so relaxing that you kind of just settle into this whole like calm vibe, and then you just end up playing it for longer than you thought you were. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna have an hour. Nah, I played it from start to finish.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, that sounds lovely, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend it. Right. Yeah, I also wanted to talk to you a little bit about being a leader and inspiring others, and having a team, being in charge of maybe a bunch of people. Something that I've been thinking about for myself, becoming one myself, I guess.
Exciting
Just
times.
maybe expanding, yeah. Of which I have in the past been coaching people. I've had as you know, because we worked together at Ubisoft, I had community representatives.
Yeah.
So I was kind of the community manager. I took the lead, but then I would delegate and talk to my representatives. And I feel like that started my enjoyment of having others to teach and guide and help and develop their experience. So I want to hear a little bit from your side as well, because I think we mentioned before starting the episode that it's one of the things that you maybe miss a bit about working just for yourself.
I mean, even moving from Ubisoft to the startup, like I was a one-man show for a while. I guess I had my manager, but that was kind of it. And it took almost a year to kind of get my first starting to hire and having the hires approved, more to the point, and getting them in. So that was kind of a period where I actually realized I do enjoy managing people. I do enjoy building culture within a team and coming together to kind of, this is not I'm telling you to do and you do and go away. This is we are in this together. This is our boat and we're trying to make the best possible thing. In the case of my previous employer, it was a case of we trying to do the best possible thing with what we've been given in the timing and money that is available to make the best possible player experience that we can. So at Ubisoft, it was a little bit different. It was an established team, so I didn't found it. I didn't build it from the ground up. And I came through that team. Like, as I said before, I started off on the German side of the world of Ubisoft social medias, and then made it through. I was a community manager for Rainbow Six and then for Steep. And then moved into the team lead position, from which point onwards it was more about the team and the people and building that relationship and building that kind of trust and dynamic before then moving into the senior management position, where it was the entire department. But I took over effectively an existing team with an existing culture that was not aligned with how I wanted things to be. The Ubisoft office that I was in specifically was very heavily, how do I put this nicely, bureaucratized?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Policied. It was a very clear way of doing things, and there was very little left, right, and center. And it didn't align with what I wanted this office to be like, what I wanted this team to be like, and I didn't think that it would get the best out of people that I needed. I think it was a hindrance to performance and to being successful as a group rather than actually achieving results. It was much more policing and getting people in line rather than inspiring to produce good results. At least that's how I saw it.
Yeah.
I know that all of these policies came from a place of either they were abused at one point or a problem occurred, so we need a policy, or they come from the right place but then become a hindrance later down the line. This is how I saw
Yeah.
this. So I took
Gotcha.
over an existing team and started off first as a team lead role where there's a senior manager over me who is responsible for the entire team. And I started to kind of experiment with doing things differently to what was done before with my direct reports. And that yielded results fairly quickly, because the way I describe it is, once you start having direct reports, so I had 12 at first in my particular case, is I now have a responsibility of taking on 12 times as much. It's not a kind of I'm stepping back and I have 12 people to do the work for me. It's like, no, I now have a responsibility of knowing about all of these 12 people and removing all the obstacles and all the problems that these 12 people have so they can work to the natural best.
Yeah.
And that became quite stressful, actually.
Yeah.
Especially in the environment and the context that we were in. But I started things like, having regular one-on-ones. I do them weekly. And my one-on-ones always start the same way. The first one I ever have with my reports is kind of thing, okay, so this is how I see a one-on-one running. Is number one, you always speak first. If you don't have anything to say, if you want to talk about puppies and rainbows for half an hour, then we talk about puppies and rainbows. This is your one-on-one. This is your dedicated time with your direct manager once a week. And if you don't have much to say, I have yet to meet a person that is upset about ending a meeting early.
Yeah.
So, if it's a 10-minute one-on-one and
Works
it's a
out.
10-minute one-on-one, if you need a little bit more time, I scheduled them so there's a buffer after so we can overrun. So that was kind of the introduction to, like, you now have time with your direct manager. It wasn't a thing before. And if you have something to complain about, talk to me. I'll try to fix it. And I will also very honestly tell you that I have no control over this. I can start talking and influencing it, but I can't fix this over the next month or so. This is a bigger issue. If I have a topic that I want to talk to you about, I am second in your one-on-one. So if there's a feedback point that I want you to work on, or if I've gotten feedback or there's been a problem that has been identified, like, I will take this time to talk to you privately in your one-on-one about this. And then the last point that, in my opinion, a lot of people forget in one-on-ones is I will want to make time in our one-on-ones, if we have it, to talk about the future.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing today is fine. What you're doing tomorrow is probably all right. But if we stay stagnant, number one, you will get bored in your role, probably. And worst case scenario is, like, you will perform less well in your role because you're stagnant.
Yeah.
Especially in the field that we work in, Carina, is if you don't keep up, it's like you're done within 6 months.
I've had that struggle myself. I seem to just accelerate and hit like a ceiling very quickly, and I'm trying to find ways to punch through it. But I do need someone sometimes to just guide me a little bit. Someone that maybe
yes, exactly.
And it's like, I can see you doing well. Like, let's try this. Maybe could you take on this side thing and let's see how you go with it. If it's not for you, I've got someone else who might want to try it, but let's see. And then my brain is like, new challenge.
Yes.
It changes over, it switches gears, it switches lanes. And I'm just like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, let's grab this. So that's, I think a lot of people need and don't realize that they need sometimes. And they think, like myself, I was like, I don't enjoy this anymore. I was like, no, I just need to find a different angle, a different type of thing within it. And I think that's really good to have as a leader, is being able to do that for others.
For me, it's also like we all have different motivations of what we do and why we do things. Ultimately, it comes down to emotions. This is how I do my consultancy. My background is in social sciences, so everything I do is based in sociology, psychology, and behavioral analytics. So our emotions dictate our behavior. So if I have somebody that is emotionally not in the right place, then it's not necessarily my job to fix. I'm not a therapist, but I can be accommodating in a work context. So the way I describe it is, if you have trouble at home and you're suddenly not performing as you used to because you have this big, massive black cloud over your head, as a leader, I have the option to kind of quite frankly, be quite mean. I'm trying to use my word carefully because I'm not sure about the policy. Be quite mean and kind of put the pressure on that person because the performance isn't there, and create another problem, another threat in that person's life of like, you better pick up those numbers so I don't know what's going to happen next. Like that. That's just not what you need.
And that's just another weight added on to the weight they're already carrying, really.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Or you can say, I've noticed that the performance isn't quite where it used to be. What is going on?
Yeah.
And opening that question is like, I can even be more empathetic, especially because I also say in those one-on-ones that it's my job to get to know you. The more I know you, the better I can place you into projects that interest you. That if you want to progress, then we can work towards progression. We can find skill gaps. We can find whatever we need to help you progress within the company. That's when that performance dropping. I can also say, like, I'm worried about you. Like, I noticed that, you're just nowhere near where you used to be, 3 months ago. What's going on? I'm worried, and that is a completely different conversation. And I think that creates a lot of trust and support and appreciation for a leader, for a manager, but also understands that you're not just a cog in a machine. You're not just a number. It's like that person actually understands of my value within this team and my value within the company, and is worried enough to make sure that I'm okay, that when I come here is I can do what I need to do and then go home and deal with whoever else.
Yeah, that really changes as well, I think, from the other, like the person's perspective is if you have a leader or a manager that is concerned for your wealth and your health, like your well-being first, you very much, like for myself, I was much more likely to go the extra mile, put a bit of an extra effort in, be more communicative. Maybe also I also feel safer and much more, confident in the fact that I can go to my manager and say, do you know what, I'm just having a bit of a tough time at home lately. I don't know, something's going on. I might be a bit distracted at work. I'll still do what I can do, but just to let you know, I might just need a bit of extra break today because I'm just having a day. And that's something I felt I could do with my manager towards middle point, I think, for Ubisoft when I was there. I've had some really great leaders that's inspired me, and I felt I could say, hey, I'm just not okay today.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they're like, cool, go grab a coffee break, don't worry about it, let me know if you need anything, if you need to work from home or go somewhere. And I was like, okay. And I was actually able to stay at work because I was given the option of, if it felt too much, I could go home. But because I was giving that option, I felt I didn't need it. But if I hadn't been given that option, I would have been like, it would have just built and built throughout the day. And then I would have been like, I need to go home.
Yeah.
So it's just wonderful that you can give back as well when you invest in people in that way. It's
trust earned in drops and lost in buckets.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Exactly.
But I'm actually quite glad that you say that, because like one of the philosophies I instilled in my team leads, and I'm presuming you're talking about your team lead that I happened to know back then.
Yes.
It's a case of I made it very clear to all 4 of them that I had 4 team leads to manage the team with me. Your success depends on the people below you. Your job is to do everything you can to make sure that they need what they need and that they feel fine and comfortable. And I will rate you, and your success and your performance and all of that depends on how okay the people below you are. Yes, you have your projects and everything, but the projects are secondary. Your primary responsibility as a team lead, as in the people below you are the people that do the actual work, is they need, if they're not happy with you, then you're not performing well. So that's how I kind of phrased it back then. And that then translated into, I mean, I arranged the seating arrangements so we sat kind of in a row, but I said, if you're not on a call and you're working on your own project or whatever else you need to work on, and somebody approaches the bank, and you just drop immediately what you're doing, because that person needs a conversation, needs to have a problem removed, needs to tell you something, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Your responsibility. That's why you're making the big bucks, is to figure it out of how you can keep your other projects on track while making sure that the people have everything that they need.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my favorite situation where I felt very validated in my approach, and in a way quite proud, to be honest. I should protect the name because you know the person. It was before COVID, so I came into the office. It was like 8:30, something like that. And
Yeah.
another person is always in early, and they were a very, very good performer. And they were like on the fast track of, the next promotion kind of thing. So they were a great member of the team. So I came in and they sat like a row over from me, and they saw me, and immediately, like, I just dropped my stuff, turned on my laptop, and then they came over and said, like, "Hey, Alex, can we have a conversation?" It's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And we went into a room, got a coffee, and they opened the conversation with, "I wanted to have a conversation with you rather than my team lead, because I will be getting upset, and you're the only person I feel comfortable being upset with."
Wow.
And that was a person I never managed directly. He was a skip.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I had a team lead between me and him, as in work manager
Yeah.
relationship. But for me to be able to have that level of trust and impact on a group of people that say, like, I feel comfortable of being upset with you. And,
Yeah.
he's quite a, burly, manly man kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that on top of it all was like, oh, wow, okay, I'm doing something
Yeah.
right here. I'm instilling trust in these people. There's
Yeah.
a certain comfortableness and trust, I think is the right word, that they came to me and wanted to talk about something that is really upsetting them and problematic. And I ended up then having that conversation with that person and kind of said, look, if you want to go home, just fine, don't worry about it. And remember, this is pre-COVID, so work from home was a bit, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Different times.
Exactly. So I was like, if you want to go work from home, do that. If you want to stick around, stick around. But yeah. And as soon as their team lead came in, I picked them up and said, like, hey, let's quickly go into the room, have a conversation. I need to tell you something. And I basically told them, without going into detail about what was shared with me, of like, hey, look, this person spoke to me this morning. They're not really having a great time. It's private and personal, so I'm not going into detail, but I gave them the option to go home if they wanted to. And don't give them a rough time today. Just check in if they're okay, if they need anything. But they're kind of just trying to make it through the day today. And they're like, cool, gotcha. Thanks,
Yeah.
Alex.
Nice. That must be like one of the many rewarding things about being leader and leading in the way that you want to lead, and trying to build that trust, and then seeing that is actually happening and people feel comfortable. Because it's very difficult for many people, I think, to just, even with their closed ones, say that they're not doing okay, or they're having a bad time, or, things are rough today. Because usually people just kind of like grit and bear it, But having built that kind of space and people coming to you with that, I could just imagine like feeling this warmth. Just like, oh, this is good. I think I've had a few tiny moments like that with the people that I've been working with, the representatives that now all of them went on to become community
Awesome.
managers. One of them became a senior community
Amazing.
manager over in a different company, but she still tells me to this day that, Carina, the stuff that you told me, the things that you taught me, the support that you gave me, like, I appreciate it so much, and I still do the things
Very well
that you've
done.
taught me now.
Very
And I
well
was like,
done.
there's just this warmth, and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that I have. It's just, knowing that you have probably a very long lasting impact on that person as well. They're going to remember you.
You might want to
They're going
redo that
remember.
because your internet just cut out.
Oh no, did it?
Yes, it's just
It's the
frozen my
wireless
screen. I don't know if the
probably.
recording happened that as well.
Oh, I don't know. It seemed all right on my side. Maybe it's the
Okay.
connection. It might be all right.
Hopefully.
Editor, help us out. Maybe they'll do some cuts. But yeah, it's a very good place to be in when you have people come to you in that way. Knowing that you've done something right as well just feels very validating.
I mean, I like accountability, and I'm very open and honest with my team, and I think that's what built a lot of trust. I had the bi-weekly meetings. You remember them? You were in them.
Yeah.
And very often I would stand at the front. I would open them up with like, ask me anything. Like if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer. But if you ask me something, I will give you a straight answer. I will not bullshit you,
Yeah.
frankly. That's not my
Yeah.
job. That doesn't build trust. And if you think I haven't done something I promised before, then call me out on it. And all of my team leads are actually, like my direct reports, I should say, get this speech when they came in, like all of them, like, hey, you are now a team lead, you're now my direct report. I expect a few things from you. One is if I'm not making sense or anything, you have the full right to tell me, Alex, this is all rubbish and it makes no sense. I actually expect that from you, that you call me out like that. Because
Yeah.
when we then go and take whatever I'm talking about to the team and it doesn't make sense and the team is confused and that's horrible. And quite frankly,
Yeah.
that just makes us look absolutely ridiculous. So call me out. If you
Yeah.
think that my decision is wrong, for whatever reason, tell me.
Yeah.
Maybe not in front of the entire group in the bi-weekly meeting, but
No,
tell me,
be, but,
you know?
delicate about it. Be, smart
Like we
about how
have
you
our
do it.
team lead meetings. I had our Monday morning meetings. It's like I call it OMG Monday. Now, Monday morning meeting is like, call me out. Tell me that this is wrong for
Yeah.
whatever reason you think it is. And like, there's no repercussions. I want to be challenged that way because I want to have a consensus to the best of our abilities.
Yeah.
Sometimes we disagree about something. That's the nature of the world. But ultimately, I
Yeah.
want to have had that conversation.
Yeah. I think that's something that in the past, with having not the best leaders and managers in my entire sort of working career, there's been moments where I just haven't felt like I could say something or call something out, because a lot of people sort of seem to think that as they enter that leadership position, they are now infallible. They should not make mistakes. They should always be right. And I think they kind of maybe think that for themselves, so they might not own up to the mistakes either, or feel very uncomfortable about being challenged on something that doesn't make sense to other people. It's like, why are we doing this? This just seems like extra work for like less return. And then
Good
it's
example.
like, no, but this is what we're going to do. And it's like, okay, I guess. And then you kind of just get on with it. But then that starts that snowball of like,
exactly.
Cool, I'm not going to say anything. It's just because I can't change it anyway. And they think this is the way to go and this is right. And I found myself building resentment almost
Absolutely,
towards that person then, and then I won't go to them for help or coaching or guidance or ask for their opinion or anything, and that kind of just ruins the whole point, really, doesn't it? So I really like that you've said that, because that's something for myself that I've considered becoming, stepping up into a potential leadership kind of role, that I want to make sure that it's a collaboration. It's not a one-sided sort of I'm in charge, do what I say kind of thing. It's more a let's work together to be the best that we both can be. That means I'll talk to you when something's not working. You'll talk to me when something's not working. It's kind of a mutual respect and exchange, really. So it's good.
And like some people would challenge me, it's like, well, but you're making more money than they do. How is that fair? It's like, quite easy. I'm the one that when it got wrong, my head rolls. Or like, I'm the one accountable,
Yeah.
I will protect that person who is ever doing the work because they're doing the work. I'm the one accountable. I'm the one who has ultimately decision-making power. I'm the one who says yes and no. It's my call. I'm being paid to do that.
Yeah.
But that also means that, if the person below me does amazing, it's all theirs. That's their credit.
Yeah.
It's like it's taking all the blame and giving away all the credit kind of thing. But the satisfaction comes from that person flourishing and doing amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, if things go wrong, it's in a way, it's like it's not down to me and the leader, because ultimately it's also them working in their ability.
Yeah.
But to some extent, I was the one facilitating that.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that, especially in our team back when, is if it happened under different leadership, different management, I don't think we would have performed as well as we did with the people that we had. Not because of the people's fault, but because there would be so many obstacles put into people's way that they simply could not do the job that they did when we were back in that team.
Yeah. I think that is so key to the success as well of a team, is just having them be empowered and enabled to do the best that you can see them do. So, you just punching obstacles out of the way, like clearing the course for them. Of course, there's some obstacles that they're going to have to climb, but that's like builds your experience and knowledge as a person. I certainly had my fair share of challenges that I had to overcome. One was delegation. It's like I had to delegate because I was used to taking it all on myself. And my team lead at the time was just like, I'm just going to take this and put it with these people because they can do that while you focus on this very important other stuff. And I was like, I just looked at it and I was like, thank you. So that was like one obstacle being cleared for me. And also me trying to learn that delegation didn't mean I'd failed to do my tasks. It was just, I had maybe something more complex to try and unravel, whilst other people could then get the opportunity to learn that thing as well. Because if I was hogging, sort of, so to speak, all of the tasks, no one else could be enabled to do their best by doing that task and then stepping into my shoes. It's kind of like a little line, isn't it? To kind of, you do that now, I move on and do the bigger things. You then move on to this bit and do the bigger things. It's just kind of like pushing them through.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm so happy I've had good leaders in my time because it's inspired me to become one. I've been called a reluctant
leader very well.
Well,
that's fair. That's fair. I can see that.
Yeah. It's a responsibility, but one that I'm ready to take now.
Yeah, ultimately, it's what I call it. It's about culture building, in my opinion. Yes, there's company culture, but it's usually, especially in big corporation, it's so diffused and it's top down, and it doesn't work, frankly. Yes, there are some values that might be transferable and translatable into whatever else, but the real culture that matters to the person, the individual, is the one in their immediate team. They don't care what the executive culture is, frankly. They care about the person next to them. They care about the team, that their day-to-day. And if they can't stand the person sitting opposite them, then that's a problem in the team and the culture.
Yeah.
And if they can't trust the person next to them to either do a good job or to deliver or to not backstab them, then that's a massive problem. And then it's completely irrelevant of what HR decides on an offside of what the company culture is and what the company mission and purpose is. It's completely irrelevant. Because the person next to you is going to backstab you and take all the credit and get the bonus. It's like, that's not a culture I wanted to build.
No.
So my culture was very much focused around the person next to you, and you're doing that not just for you, and you're doing it not just for some arbitrary person somewhere away. It's like we as a group come together to do the best that we can to deliver what we need to deliver in the best possible, within the circumstances that we've been given. We were given a difficult hand, and we just played a difficult hand. It is what it is. I don't like the phrase "it is what it is" because it's a rendering, but the way I put the "is what it is," like there's some things that I had no control over.
Yeah.
And those things are like, it is what it is. I can't change it.
Yeah.
But I can work around it.
Yeah. I can do your best to work around
it. I can make other stuff happen instead, A good example was salaries. Salary I had no control over. I had input as in, I think this is below market. And that was pretty much it. That was my 1 year conversation. That was my one line every year. It's like, this is below market average. Yeah. And I can influence it by giving people good performance ratings, assuming they performed well. But that's it. That was my level of influence. Doesn't mean I can do other stuff. Make the office a little bit nicer, give you more freedom by maybe ignoring some major policies or some directives, and so that's fair enough. I don't really care if you come in 10 minutes late or not, because that's irrelevant. I'm not interested in you spending time in your seat. I'm interested in what you're delivering for the team and the company.
Yeah.
That's a completely different mindset. I gave people a lot of freedoms that in other parts of that particular office was completely unheard of and frowned upon. It's like, if you have a quiet time, take a longer lunch. I don't care, frankly. It's like, I think it was actually a different leader who saw things very differently, similarly in the office, and he once said, "I don't run an adult daycare center.
Yeah.
I run a team." I was like,
Yeah.
I exactly know what you mean, and I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that. I know that what you mean as well. Wow. Amazing. Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see what I do next. Stay tuned for the what happens. I think our last topic was going to be like the changing world of social media.
Oh God, we've got 5 minutes.
I know, right?
That's completely unrealistic.
Like,
oh my God, I'm so sorry. I kept talking about this.
It's all right. I think I would actually quite like to just talk to you again sometime
Yeah,
in
that
the
works for
future
me.
about
Yeah,
the changing world of social media.
let's do
So
that.
maybe we could do a separate episode maybe on that, because I do think it needs its own entire episode.
Yeah, that is very fair.
How much goes on.
That is very fair. Let's do that.
I think we'll leave it at that. So we'll conclude the episode of the Game Dev Local podcast. I was your host. I am your host, Carina. Big thank you to you, Alex, for being my guest today. Do you want to share any sort of social handles or where people can find you if they want to find your consultancy company?
I'm mostly active on LinkedIn, and my consultancy is called Community Consulting. It's com-unity consulting. And that's also my website, com-unityconsulting.com. And everything we do is inspired by behavioral science. And we believe that, when I say we, it's me, it's a bit weird, corporate speak making its way in. I believe that everything we do is dictated by emotions, and by deeply rooted emotions. So because of that, our behavior is dictated, and our decision making is dictated by emotions. So I operate under the principle of identifying the emotion I want to trigger in a person to then make positive experiences for the game.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. Check it out, everyone. If you need some very good consultancy-based services, Alex is top-notch, I assure you. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Alex, and we'll see you next time.